welcome back to JJ's Bakehouse. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to show you how to make these cakesicle lolly thingies. I don't really know what to call them. Do you call them cakes? Oh, I don't know. I give up. Right. So I have got here 100 grams of milk chocolate and 100 grams of white chocolate because I'm going to do one white and one milk for you to show you. So these are the chocolates I use. I buy these online. They are really good value. A bit more expensive because you're buying them in bulk, but when you break it down to what you use, it's the same as what you buy in a supermarket, but they are so good. This one's brilliant. It's already been tempered, so love that. So that's what I always use. If I haven't got this, I just tend to use the Tesco ones, the Tesco chocolate chips. So that's what I use instead. And then I've got the white chocolate, and again, if I don't have that, I use Tesco white chocolate chips, so I can get rid of this. So that's what I've got there. I'm going to melt those in a minute. And these are what I bought. So I looked at my cake suppliers, and I think they were about €30 for these, and obviously I'm in Ireland. And then I went and had a look on Amazon with the name, and for the very same, they were £11. So these are fab. They come with sticks as well, and this is what they look like. I tried them already and really liked them, so this is what we're going to use today. So there's different ways of doing these sticks. Some people will put cake into here, just the cake mix into here, and then dip these into chocolate, whereas I'm going to encase these in the chocolate because I like the sheen that I get on the one side. So I'm going to show you the way I do it, which is chocolate into here and then pop them in the freezer, take them out, fill them with chocolate, fill them with the cake, and then we're going to put more chocolate across the back and take them out. So let's get started. So I've got those two there, and then I'm going to go and melt both of these in the microwave. Now, so I'll see you in a moment. Right, so I just got mine out, and there's a little lump left in this one, but I've left it. So I've taken it out like this. I stirred it all the way as we were going, and then I've just left it. So anything that's in that bottom bit is just going to melt in itself. If you start stirring it, you're going to put air into it and reduce the temperature down. So I just want to leave it like that. So I'm happy that they aren't overheated and they're going to be absolutely fine. So now for these, you need to get yourself some baking parchment and something to do the inside with. So I'm going to use a spoon for this. So we're going to get all the bits that we need, let this cool just slightly, and then we'll come back and put it all together. Right, brought you in closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with the milk chocolate, and the reason for that is just, this goes quite wet. White chocolate goes very thin, and it goes thinner than what this does when it's heated, and it just needs to come back a little bit, otherwise it's not going to work properly. So take a couple of teaspoons of the chocolate, we'll do one at a time, probably be easier, and then just swirl it around yourself. Don't worry about the hole for the lolly stick, just I'm going to go all the way around. There we go. Okay, and then a bit more. Another one in. We'll do the other one first, hang on. Right, let's do them at the same time there. Right, 1, 2. Now obviously that one's going to swirl around at the same time. I know some people cut these apart. I don't mind. It's fine like this. Don't put as much in that one. Maybe half teaspoons. There we go. Don't worry about getting it over the sides. Right. So now these parts are covered, we need to concentrate on around the top. So then I take my spoon, take the back part of it like this, and then I just rub across the top this. Just dab it on. All across to make sure that it's going to pool in the bottom, but don't worry. Make sure all of the top is completely covered. Okay, and then the other one. Chocolate will dry quite quickly as well. So then, right. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tip this over. Just have a little look, make sure you're happy that it's all sealed around the top, and then really quickly tip it and leave it. And then what this is going to do is you've got quite a thick layer on the bottom here, and when you tip it up it's going to naturally fall to the sides, and it's going to grab that area around the outside that always gets weaker anyway, and it's just going to look after itself. So we're going to leave it like that. And we're going to turn to the white chocolate. Let me just wipe my hands, because if I've got any other chocolate on there it's going to come through. Right, done that. Now on to the next one. Same again. 2 in there. 2 in there. Oh, something hit the window out there, made me jump. Right. And we're going to do the very same thing again. There's not enough in the other one. And you'll feel that this is thinner. Right, so there we go. There we are. And then the back of the spoon again, and do the very same thing all across the top. Go. Oh, I missed a bit just there. Big bit. Okay. And we're going to do the same with this one. We're going to tip that upside down as well. And then we're going to leave them upside down like that for 5 minutes. And then we're going to do a double coat. And that is going to guarantee then that these come out, especially the white chocolate ones, can be quite temperamental. So, and make sure there's no milk chocolate, because you don't want that. And there we go, over we go. And that's it. So we've got 5 minutes just to make sure then that these completely do what we want them to do. Set down a little bit, and then we'll put another layer on, and then we can pop them into the freezer until we need them. So the best thing to do, these should be absolutely fine just for 5 minutes. I just give mine a little bit of a stir up. Try and get as much as you can off of the sides, because thin layers of chocolate will melt. So get what you can down into the pool of chocolate at the bottom, so it's in a bigger mass, and then just stir it every couple of minutes, just to make sure that it stays incorporated, and then we can still use the chocolate. So I'll see you in 5 minutes. Right, so we're going to peel this off. As you can see, it's got like blobs coming up here where it's starting to set. So we'll leave this one down for a moment, and then give your chocolate a bit of a stir. Take the back edge of the spoon again and just around those sides, because this is where it's so important, is these sides, because that's what can become so weak. So making sure it comes to the top. Now it's clinging more as well. There we go. This is just going to give it that extra bit of structure. There we go. So I'm going to pop that back upside down, whilst I do this one. Now a lot came out of this. See what I mean about the white chocolate being quite so runny? That makes it a lot harder to work with. So it's already fallen, it doesn't have the same pull to it as what the milk chocolate did. So white chocolate's always different to handle with everything, with drips and ganache. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn these back upside down and pop them into the freezer until we need them. I mean, they only need about 10 minutes in the freezer anyway, but I'll just leave them there till I need them. So I'll see you in a moment. Right, so our lolly sticks are in the freezer and they are doing really well in there. So I have got some caramel cupcakes here because the ones I'm doing here are caramel. You can just follow this with any sponge, any flavours. This is just what I'm choosing to do. So I'm going to take some of these and pop them into a bowl. There we go. I'm taking 4 into a bowl there. And then you can either, if you've got a food processor, this is much easier on a food processor, but just in case you haven't, I'm not going to. So we just are going to swish it all up as if you were making breadcrumbs. This reminds me of being back in home ec at school. Rub it through your fingers lightly. That was my home ec teacher telling me that. So that's what we're going to do. So you want to just keep going and make sure that if you can feel any crunchy bits that you really do get those, because it won't be very nice when people eat them. Like I said, if you have a food processor, just put it straight in the food processor and really whip all this up, and then any of those little crunchy bits, the food processor will get those anyway. So once you feel like you're happy and they are all soft and there are no bits in there, we're going to add some buttercream. So you don't want to add too much buttercream because you're just going to make it a sloppy mess. It's really glue. You want to stick this together and give it that little bit of extra flavour as well. So, am I nearly there? Just feeling through my fingertips. Yeah, right. So next, buttercream. Okay, so as you can see, it just looks like fine crumb. If you've had it in the food processor, it'll look even smaller than that. So I'm going to take, I've got 4 cupcakes here, and I'm going to take a dessert spoonful. So probably a tablespoon and a half. So a tablespoon and a half. And then with my spoon, give this a mix around. You know what's going to come. Your hands are going to have to go in here. Again, if you have a food processor, just pop that into a food processor and it will do it all for you. So now, make sure you've got clean hands and then straight in. And you're really just rubbing all that together. Just to make sure that it all binds and sticks really nicely. So that's what mine looks like there. Okay. And it holds its form there. Okay. And that's what you're looking for. So now that's finished, I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to go over and wash my hands and we are going to get the sticks out of the freezer. Okay, just before I get the lollies out, I thought I would show you, while I've got the mixture here, some cake pops. So exactly the same mixture, and then these here are my little round balls. So just take some of the mixture. You can, if you want them to be all exactly the same size, you can just pop them on the scale and then they will be uniform. So The consistency of this is ideal. It's a little bit too big. It's holding really, really well there. Lovely. We'll do 4 of these to show you. Again, any flavours, the same as with the other one. You can use a chocolate sponge, you can use anything that you would like. There we are. And then, oh, not happy with that one. Right. Let's do one more. Now they're very, very flimsy at the moment and wouldn't really hold up to a lot. So I've done these first so that I can show you. I'm then going to take one of my sticks and put it into some melted chocolate and then push this into the cake pot, just like that. Okay? And this one, same again. And this will keep that stick into the mixture so it doesn't all fall off. Another one. Obviously you can play around with these different flavours. You could use white chocolate. There we go. I'm just showing you the basics of how to do it. So what we're going to do with these now is these are going to go into the freezer, okay? And that is going to make everything nice and solid before we put it into the chocolate. So, freezer time, and then we'll get on with the lollies. Okay, back to the lollies. So these are lovely and frozen. What I'm doing now is just going to take a knife and just trim around the edges there, just to make them flush, and it also helps them to come out so they're not pulling away. So there we go. So all the way around, getting that lovely clean edge. There we are. Now, I didn't tell you to do this in the first time, but you want to make sure you put the lolly sticks in just before you put them in the freezer, because if you don't do that, then you're not going to be able to get the stick in. So they just slid straight in, okay? I'm going to take the lolly stick out now anyway, because we're going to fill it, and I'm not going to be able to fill it with the lolly stick in there. Let's move this. Right, and we're going to take some of the mixture and pop it inside. There we go. Push it down. Now you don't want to come flush with the top, because if you come up close to the top there, you're not going to be able to get that really, really nice chocolate across there. So there's that, and then I'm going to come back, because this is caramel, and just make sure it's coming out. It is. And then I'm just going to do a couple of swirls of caramel just through it. There we go. And then you'll also get that ripple of caramel through the middle, which will be really, really nice. Pop the stick back into this one. And then what you want to do is we're just going to pop them back into the freezer again for another 5 minutes, just because I want to make sure everything is settled nicely before I put the last layer of chocolate over. So I'll be back to you in a moment. Right, we are so nearly there. So these are out the freezer. Now you can skip some of these steps if you like. I'm trying to show you how to do this and not have problems with it. So I'm making it as easy as I possibly can. So now we're just pouring the chocolate over the top and making sure that it completely joins up to the seam. that we've got there. Don't worry if it goes over the edge because we will sort that out again afterwards. So again with this one, here we are. Lovely, secure all that in. Right, there we are, that's that one. You can just use a spoon, I've just got these sticks and I find them quite useful. So there's that one there. If you want them to be completely and utterly, just take a stick or a scraper and just go across over the top. That'll also show you if they're completely straight actually. So there we go. Lovely. And then this one, same again. There we are. Be careful pulling it towards you, because if you pull it too much towards you, then there's every chance that it's going to leak over the top and you don't want that. Right, there we are. Back in the freezer and we will be done. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, while they're in there, let's do these pops. So, the rest of my white chocolate, put it into a cup. You need it into something deep so that you can put the cake pop in there. There we go, and then the same with the other. Now I haven't got that much chocolate here, you'd need it a lot deeper if you were doing more, but we're only doing a few just to show you how to do them. There we go. Right, now these have come out of the freezer. So they've only been in there about 10-15 minutes, enough that I can mould them, because you've got them like this. They'll go flat on the top, so then I was able to mould them. If you can see, this is quite sturdy here, so this just gets dipped straight into the chocolate. Give it a spin so that it all covers, and then as it's coming up, just give it a little spin, and then we're going to take it to the side and just tap all the way around. Right, put it in. Okay, in case you didn't see that properly because it's blurry. If it was, I'll fast forward it. Right, you're coming round and you're spinning. Elevate up and spin. Here it comes. Just keep spinning. Okay, then take your spoon or your stick, pop it just underneath and spin on top of that and back. And again, and around. And as I said, the freezer really helps these to dry off really, really quickly. So let's try with the white now, because we've done those. I'm glad you can see properly now. What happened there? Right, let's move this over. Okay, so we'll dip in the white one. Now white is always, don't forget, it's a lot runnier, so you might need to double coat on the white. Spin, come up. Okay, yeah, quite a lot thinner. So keep spinning. Take your stick. There we go. There we are. Now that's getting caught on this one side, so we're going to get that. We're going to go back in again, and we need the double on the white chocolate anyway. Right. And up and over. There we go. And spin. Oh, we have a air pocket. We don't want that. There we are. And thing, and then take your stick again. This just prevents it from coming all the way down your stick here and having to clean it up. Chocolate's got something to rest on, which makes it a lot easier. Excellent. Here we go. And there's the white. And then we're going to do white, and we're going to do something else with the white. So I've just got some pink here. So I'm going to pop a little bit of pink in there. And that's Colour Mill. And I'm going to give it a little swish around. So I don't know if you can see. I've only swirled it around, and then I'm going to pop this straight in. So you're going to put this one in and spin it. Keep spinning the same way and then come up. There we are. Same as before, spinning around. There we go. And then upwards. Lovely. Up. There we go, and we're done with that one. Might go in for a second one maybe. In. And spin, that's better. We've got a nicer colour now, look at that. Spin it round. Now that's what happens when you don't mix the colour. You just put blobs in. Such a nice marbled effect. So there we go, right, and we bring it up to the top. Spin. And again. Spin. Okay. I find this very therapeutic. So relaxing. You're just using that stick just to wait until it solidifies. There we are. Okay, let's show you how to clean these up. So I've done this one already, if you can see there, that one. That's all clean. What happened to the back of that one? Like I said, I just didn't have enough. You need to make sure that you've got enough so it doesn't hit the bottom. That one hit the bottom. It's just running out of chocolate. Right, so we are just going to use the back edge of a knife and then scrape down there like that, cutting in through to the top, and there we go. And then you can just take some blue roll or kitchen roll just to wipe this part off, and that is giving you a completely clean area there to work with. So if I put you there, you can see that's completely clean. I'll just do the other ones and come back to you. Right, they're out the freezer. So it's time to remove them. I've got some parchment paper there. Let's put actually we'll start with the white ones. Right, so first off, I just pull the side and that should pull it away. Let's just take the edges off. Right, so I've got the knife back and I just want to do what we did last time. Just remove those rough edges. And this will make it all come out lovely and smooth as well. Take it in there. Just using the head of the knife there, just to make sure that we've got a lovely clean edge. whole way round. Lovely, that one's done. Do the same with this one. It's a bit thick in places, just pull away. Like this bit, I'll just cut this bit away there. Right, that then should be completely smooth. There we are. Let's just push all that to one side. Okay, so now when you pull away from the sides, there really shouldn't be anything stuck. So as you can see, it's all really coming away nicely, and that's what you want to do. You just want to go in and loosen all this, just so that you've got a platform to be able to get these out. So we're going to start at the top. We are gonna, it's really hard doing this back to front. Okay. Here we go. So take it back all the way and then take your stick and push it. And there we have that one. All the edges have been cut lovely because we just did it. So the same with this one. Keep your hand flat to the back if you can, because that way then you're not forcing it in one particular way. If you force in one area you could break it. So with the hand it's a wider surface. So same as before, flat of the hand there, wiggle so that you've got your stick, which mine's not playing ball. Let's pull this away more. There we go. There we are. And there we have the other one. So they are both really nice. I'm going to just leave those on the side for a moment. Any little bits that you've got on the side there, you can just take a little brush and just brush them off. But there we are. It's only where we cleaned it up so that we didn't have those rough edges. Now if you do have any rough edges, just take your knife and just glide it around the outside. And that'll make it lovely and clean. Okay, you've got this really glossy finish as well. So we're going to do the same with this. I'm going to trim it down and then be with you. Right, so the first one I'm going to paint in gold luster dust. Just gold seems to be all the trend, so we just brush the dust right over the top of this. All around the outsides. Such a beautiful sheen. Now you can do this after, or you can actually put the gold into the mould before you put the chocolate in, and then when you take it out it will just be completely covered. Such a really nice effect. There we go. Try and make sure you do brush strokes in the same way. I'm just going to put a second coat on there. Now be careful with your fingers, I've got a fingerprint that side and it is picking up on it. But with a couple of coats, that does cover that over quite nicely. There we are. There you go. Look at that shining. The gold on that is so good. There we go. So that's one way of decorating, is with the gold, which I seem to want to keep putting more and more on. So nice. Right, so there's the gold. Now for the little ones, if you just cover the top with something sticky, so I'm just going to go around like this, like a form of drip, all the way around, and fill it in a little bit. Obviously I'm using caramel for this. Okay, that's forming a drip just there, and then I've got a knife here just to get it all in there together. There we go. Right, we want that to still be sticky, but can you see there the effect on that one? You can just leave it as just a drip if you want, but I'm going to put over some sprinkles. Ooh, just throw them over the top. You can pickle these up afterwards. Okay, and then give it a tap. And then I'm just pulling away these bits in the middle. See the way that is all stuck? You've got these really, really gorgeous drips, and it's like those lollies you used to get. Is it the Fab lolly? If I remember rightly. There we go. Just tidy it up a little bit. Take that one off. There we go. Then I just need to add some more around the top because it didn't stick. There we go. And then that's a brilliant effect of a drip on a lolly just there. So that's another way that you can decorate that one. Really good for kids' parties and things like that. And then you can go, I've just got caramel here, so then you can go with the standard where you just do a drip across the top. So we just go backwards and forwards, let it hit the side of the paper, because we can cut that off afterwards. So all the way backwards and forwards. There we are. And then if you do lift that up slowly, take your knife, just skim around the outside there and skim around the outside there. Lovely. And then that gives you a lovely caramel effect drizzle over the top. And then we've just got a plain one, so I need to think of something really quickly to do with this one. So give me 1 second. I have some gold here. I'm going to spin so that you can actually see. Right, got some gold, edible paint. So I'm just going to put this into a little tub. And then get a paintbrush. I've got this here, and then I am going to flick the gold across the top of this one. And this is going to give this a really lovely speckled effect all the way round. remember doing this when I was at school, this speckledy thing, when I was very little in class. Okay, just on the top there if I can get to it. It's gone all over my side. That looks so nice. And then I've also got some edible gold sheet. Okay, so we are finished. Here are the cake pops, and these are the cake pops, and these are the lollipops. I don't know, see, I told you I'm really confused. Anyway, look, I put these into little cases so that I could take a picture because stood in they didn't look nice. So all you did with these are dry now, is I just took them off of the top. I just put my finger on and slid up and they came out lovely. And then that's another nice way of doing it. You can just pop them there into little cases, and that's a lovely way to display them as well. And you can give them as little gifts, or you can put them on top of a cake. It's something extra, which is really nice. It doesn't just have to be on a stick. So I'm going to get a knife and cut one of these open. Right then, let's see what we've got. Okay, I'll take this one. And then we're going to slice it down the middle. I don't want this to tip. There we go. Oops. And there we are. So that's your cake on the inside there. And that is the cake pop. So that was a caramel cake pop. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it's really, really helpful for you, and I've shown you a few different ways of doing it. Now, like I've said, I have gone through every tiny little step to try and make this as easy as it is as you can to get them out. If you can cut steps as you get happier and more confident with it, then brilliant. But these are the steps to make sure that they do come out completely properly. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I will see you soon. You take care. Bye bye.